Pirates lost. The Steelers lost. They looked terrible. The Bungles won. The Ravens put up 40 on the Browns. George Pickens caught an end-of-game touchdown, which the Cowboys would eventually go on to win. Alex Highsmith is probably going on IR. And to top everything off, I'm probably going to lose in fantasy this week. Let's talk about this game. Where do I begin? I knew from the first drive this is going to be a long day. And yeah, it was. It was a long day. Kenneth Walker, first and foremost, he was able to do whatever he wanted on the ground today. He had 103 rushing yards. Run defense still has yet to be fixed. That is a giant concern. They did not look good last week. I was hoping, it's a split backfield this week, not as, dynamic of a running team as, say, the Jets are, who looked terrible today, by the way. And it's just bad. It's bad right now, and it needs to be fixed. This is why they brought in Derek Harmon. This is why they drafted him in the first round. They needed a run stopper, so that way, you can stop that. Because, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but the Ravens, they won today. And you're going to have to play that backfield of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson twice this year. So if you're going to have any chance of doing anything this season in the division, you need to figure out how to stop the run. And, this could have been a tune-up game for that. Kenneth Walker, although, and this is not a shot at Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet whatsoever, please don't take it as that, but, they're not Derrick Henry. They're not any of the running backs you're going to face this year. So, just seeing that is a big concern. I guess staying on the defense, I guess I can talk about something more positive. I made a video this offseason talking about the Jalen Ramsey trade and my initial thoughts on it. I don't remember exactly what I said in that video or when exactly I recorded it. However, what I do remember is that at least after that video came out, I sat on it and I thought about it more. And I said, okay, I understand why the Steelers did this, and I'm okay with it now. And I think today justified that thinking. With Jalen Ramsey getting a pick, he pretty much won us the game last week. He looked really good in that game, too. I think that justifies it. Of course, Nick Herbig, he also had a pick. That was awesome. But yeah, man, main takeaway is that if you're going to win in this league, you got to be able to stop the run. You can't constantly be giving up 100 rushing yards a game. You can't do it. And it's really disappointing that the most expensive defense in football cannot stop the run. Again, only 2 weeks in, so there's still plenty of time for that to change. But as it stands right now, this run defense is a problem. Moving on to the offensive side of things. Aaron Rodgers did not look great today, I'll be honest. He had 2 picks, 2 very, very costly picks. And it looked bad. It looked like the offense from last year, in all honesty, where we had troubles moving the ball, and in all honesty, we did. Jaylen Warren, I love that man. He was the number 1 receiver today. And it's not a good thing when you're paying a guy $150 million, or however much you're paying DK Metcalf, for him to come out there and have 3 catches, or was it 4? I don't remember. He had a touchdown, which is great, but it's bad. It's really, really not good. And that's really the best way I can put it. Something's got to change. And last week in the backfield, Kenneth Gainwell was getting a lot of the carries for first half, pretty much. And then they started giving the ball more to Jaylen Warren. This week, it was pretty much all Jaylen Warren. It was pretty much Jaylen Warren's backfield. He had the bulk of the carries today. I think he finished with like 14 or 15. He wasn't super productive on those carries anyways. He had, I think, 48, 50 yards, something like that. Just a shame, man. You can't win when you throw 2 picks and another turnover, which I'll get to. Yeah, just bad all around. Not a good game from the Steelers. Moving on to special teams. Special teams. First and foremost, Chris Boswell, I love you. I want you to be a Steeler for life, and I would take a bullet for you. You're my best friend, and that's pretty much all I have to say there. But now getting to what I'm sure most people came for. Look, I said it, it's hard to win in this league and lose the turnover battle. It is harder to win when those turnovers don't even come on offense. If you have a turnover on special teams, chances are you're probably going to lose that game. Look what happened last week against the Jets. The Jets, they fumbled on the kickoff after the Steelers scored a touchdown. And then the Steelers ended up scoring another touchdown. Kind of the same thing here. Steelers fumbled on the kickoff. Seattle took that for a touchdown. And the Steelers never recovered from there. So you can't do that. You can't do that. And normally the Steelers special teams is pretty good, pretty sure-handed. But today, I don't know what happened. This is a tough loss. But the one silver lining to this game is that, I guess there are 2 silver linings. The 2 silver linings to this game is that it's only week 2, and you lost to an NFC team. You lost to an out-of-conference team, so it's not going to hurt you in terms of tiebreakers if you want to talk about playoff seeding and all that, which is weeks down the road. It's a tough loss, but you get over it. You learn what you did wrong. Move on to next week. Yeah. Next week you play the Patriots. You'll probably lose that game because, for whatever reason, Steelers are really terrible in New England, but I digress. Let's just forget about this game. I think that's for the best.